listening to Women Infused Radio, where women in the marketplace connect with purpose and spirit, where the conversation covers all things women, business, and fascinating faith. And now, your host, Christy Lynn Olson.
Hey everyone, this is Christy Lynn Olson. Before we start today's episode, I wanted to ask you a question. Did you know that there are about 10,000 chemicals commonly found in personal care products? Only 10% of those chemicals have safety data. The United States has not passed a federal law to regulate the ingredients used in personal care products since 1938. The European Union has spent the past 2 decades banning or restricting more than 1,300 ingredients. The U.S. has only banned 11 to date. Even more troubling, chemicals linked to breast cancer, learning disabilities, hormonal disruptors, infertility, and other health issues are allowed in the products we use every day. In my journey to do everything in my life a little better this year and create a healthier lifestyle, I'm so excited to announce that I partnered with a company called Beauty Counter to help bring this brand message to the market, because we deserve better. And at Beauty Counter, they're doing something about it. Beautiful products made safe. Their ingredient selection process is the strictest in the industry. At Beauty Counter, they've banned more than 1,500 ingredients. They call it their Never List, setting a new health and safety standard, all while ensuring that their products perform and that they're as indulgent as any luxury shampoo, lipstick, or oil in the market. Their mission is to get safe products into the hands of everyone. And to that end, they've created an essentials skin and body care line, a collection of lip shears, kids counter products for little ones, and Counter Time, which reduces the signs of aging. Join the movement for safer, cleaner, and higher-performing luxury products. For more information, please take a look at my website, beautycounter.com/Christy Olson. There's going to be a link in the show notes, so you can just click right on that. So why don't you come along, get informed, and join me on this beautiful mission at Beauty Counter. Hello, and welcome back to Women Infused Radio Podcast. I'm so excited that you're here today, and this is episode 4 of the Unveiled Voices Series, helping you to not only understand who you are, but to help you understand the power of your calling as you start to release your value, your voice, and your vision to the world. Your calling is that thing you're made for, that message you're meant to share with the world in all you think, do, and say. It's how you are meant to show up in the world. It's that mountain that you are assigned by heaven to climb. In my personal experience, this step in the unveiling your voice process is both the scariest and the most exhilarating. It is the linchpin of your success going forward. This is where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. It could potentially be that moment in time where all you've done up to this point and all you've ever dreamed of doing starts to come together. It's a releasing of sorts. Instead of telling yourself you can't do this, you begin to realize that you can't not do this. Do you see the difference? It's a burning desire inside that will wake you up every day, and you just know that it will be more painful to stay the same than it will be to change as you step into your divine message and begin to speak your moment's call. Compelled by change and empowered by faith to risk all and freely reveal the value of your voice. You will be empowered by faith to risk it all. Do you realize that you only need 1 ounce more faith than fear to be successful? That's it. 1 more ounce. Fear and faith can't inhabit the same space, and one of them has to go. And you get to choose which one has to go. What will it be, fear or faith? Which will it be for you? What are you ready to release in order to realize the dream? It's your choice. And it might include a little downsizing in some areas of your life in order to make room for your dream. You can hang on to fear and stop here, or choose 1 more ounce of faith and move ahead. It's all about today's yes. In episode number 3, I talked about just getting 1 step at a time of the strategy that God will lay out for you. Imagine yourself walking down a dark lit path, and all you have to guide you is a lantern held in your hand. It radiates just enough light to show you where to take the next step, and you take that step, and then the lantern shines just enough light on the next step. And eventually you will reach your destination 1 step at a time. And so it is with your big dream and the message you have to share. The light from 1 step at a time will be sufficient to get you to the bigger vision. What can you shine a light on today that will move you one step forward? That's all we're talking about, one step forward. Don't worry about how to get to the end right now. Don't let fear take hold. Don't let procrastination take hold. And don't let perfection take hold. Procrastination is really a form of perfection. And God's not looking for perfect. He's looking for an available and teachable spirit. 2 Chronicles 16 verse 9 tells us, "For the eyes of the Lord move to and fro throughout the earth, that he may strongly support those whose heart is completely his." Did you hear that? So that he may strongly support those whose heart is completely his. That's all he wants. So again, it's not perfect. He's not looking for perfect. He's looking for that available and teachable spirit. Now, each of these things, perfection and procrastination, will stop you dead in your tracks, especially when you're on the brink of moving up to that next big thing. There are two key principles in this fourth step. The first one is this. I want you to take a look at what's in your hand. What resources do you already have? Who do you already know that could help you move forward in your vision? What gifts, abilities, skills, talents, that includes time, money, influence, do you already possess? So many women entrepreneurs think that they have to get another degree or wait until they have all their children in school or save up more money before they invest in their dreams. And not just entrepreneurs, really that any woman in the workplace. I hear that a lot. They just think they can't do that next thing till they go back to school. And I love school. I could stay in school forever, but that's not going to move me toward my dreams because it just keeps me in learning mode and it keeps me out of action mode. But I want to challenge you to look at what you already have and know to do. If you truly need training in a specific area, get it. But don't use it as an excuse to stop you from stepping up and getting into action on your dreams. Some things you just need to learn along the way. There's a story in the Old Testament. Now remember, I come from a background and I'm going to talk about women in faith. There's a story in the Old Testament about a woman named Jael who killed an evil man named Sisera to deliver Israel from the troops of King Jabin by hammering a tent peg through his temple while he slept. Who says the Bible is boring? Now, I want to read that complete story to you right now. You can follow along if you want to open your Bible to Judges 4, verse 21, or just listen. It's a short story, but I want to make sure you kind of get what was going on before we look at the moral of the story. So verse 17 actually is where I'm going to start. But Sisera fled away on foot. Remember, he's the evil man that's trying to kill God's people. Sisera fled away on foot to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the king of Heber the Kenite. And Jael came out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Turn aside, my lord, turn aside to me, do not be afraid." So he turned aside to her into the tent, and she covered him with a rug. And he said to her, "Please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." So she opened a skin of milk and gave him a drink and covered him. And he said to her, "Stand at the opening of the tent, and if any man comes and asks you, 'Is anyone here?' say no." But Jael, the wife of Heber, took a tent peg and took a hammer in her hand. Then she went softly to him and drove the peg into his temple until it went down into the ground while he was lying fast asleep from weariness. So he died. And behold, as Barak was pursuing Sisera, Jael went out to meet him and said to him, "Come, and I will show you the man whom you are seeking." So he went into her tent, and there lay Sisera dead, with the tent peg in his temple. Now the moral of the story is this. Jael used what was already in her hand, what she was already familiar with and skilled in, to fulfill her mission. And it was previously prophesied that the battle would be won at the hand of a woman. What lesson can you and I learn from this? 3 things I want to list that we can learn from Jael. The first is this. Get familiar with your process. Jael's people moved from place to place, and she was familiar with the process of constantly taking down their tents and putting them back up. Remember, they were nomads and they moved from place to place. This is something she did over and over to the point that it was so familiar to her that she didn't even have to remind herself how to do it. And the tools she used were comfortable in her hands. I imagine she would have complete confidence in knowing how to do this work. So get familiar with your process. It's that thing you do that is going to be in your business or in the community, whatever you do, whatever you teach. Get so familiar with your process that you know it backwards and forwards, and use the tools in your hand until they become so comfortable that you don't even have to think that you're picking them up. Number 2, be confident and assured of the outcome. Jael went softly to him, it says. She didn't need to draw attention to what she did. She was not only comfortable and confident, but she was assured of the outcome. That's how we build up our own faith. We do something over and over again until we are so confident and comfortable that we don't have to shout and wave our skills in front of everyone just to get a little attention. We can confidently do our work, and it will stand on its own merit and fulfill the promise of victory. So be confident and assured of the outcome. Number 3, don't miss your moment. Jael didn't hesitate in the moment. She took the moment or the opportunity for what it was and moved forward to do that thing that she had been training for all her life. Remember, it said she went out to meet him and used what she had, what she was familiar with, and with the inspiration that she had in her spirit. And now her name is infamous in history for generations to come. She took swift action when her moment came. Don't miss your moment because you didn't use what was already in your hand. And don't discount what's in your hand as old, unusable, or familiar. Breathe new life into it if you have to. Look at it from a different perspective and don't be too quick to disregard it as insignificant. It could be that very thing that you think is unusable or old that God wants to use to provide for you or to take you to another level. Yes, it's as simple as that. The second key in this principle is start talking about it. Yes, as simple as that. No additional skills or training required. Just start talking about it out loud, not in your head. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Speak it out. Tell anyone who will listen. Don't kill your dreams by being silent. Just start the conversation. Better yet, lead the conversation. Oh yes, there will be naysayers, but carry on. I have found that whatever clarity I was still lacking came out into the open once I stood up and just started talking about my message. It gave me a platform to kind of shift and change and mold the words I wanted to use and the approach that I wanted to take. And it helped me find those exact words that would resonate with whomever I was supposed to reach. And then I could clearly communicate the vision. Amazing things will happen when your vision moves from your head to your voice. We need your voice, and if we don't get the privilege of hearing your voice, the conversation will be unbalanced. Like a square table with only 3 legs, unbalanced and unstable, not much use at all. There are so many ways that you can start talking about your message and vision. Speaking can take on all forms of communication. It could be social media, blogging, writing a book, an ebook, a workbook, offering an online course, groups, meetup groups, professional associations, networking. Have coffee with someone and just share. And don't forget about the power of a book. I want to talk about that for a minute. Writing a book or an ebook. Remember, God is an author and finisher. And if we are designed in His image, that means we are too. So we need to tell our story, and maybe we need to write our story in a book. And maybe only 5 people are going to read it. Maybe 1 person will read it. But sometimes you do need to think about, is it time to write a book or an ebook? Now let me give you a small piece of advice. If you know you have a negative Nelly in your midst, don't start by telling them all about your vision. They will hear about it soon enough. And honestly, sometimes our own families are the last ones to get on board with the vision. Perhaps you can join a mastermind group, a Facebook group, and try out different ways of telling your message. Ask for feedback and take note on what is resonating with your tribe. If you don't have a tribe, find one. My point is this: you have to hone your message and just start to freely reveal the value of your voice. Your voice and your message will have value if you've taken the time to learn what you need to learn, to ask yourself the tough questions about who you are and what has brought you to this exact moment, and who you are here ultimately to serve. Let me tell you a secret about speaking your moment's call. It's not about you. It's about who you are destined to serve and about how you can show up with love, grace, and integrity to add value to someone else's life. To take all those difficult life lessons or successes you've had and help another soul along their journey. Did that surprise you? That it's not about you? To be honest, when I understood that concept, it took a lot of pressure off me. It was up to me to just show up, and it was up to God to do all the heavy lifting, as long as I was doing my part and pressing into His presence in my life. Don't be afraid to speak your moment's call, or let anyone tell you it's already been said or done. Only you are uniquely wired and designed to release your message to the world in your way to reach the people that God will put in your path. The most effective tool we have as women of faith in our hand is the Word of God. So here's my favorite part of the podcast, the Word Unveiled. Esther 4, verse 14. If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this. So don't keep quiet. This is your time. And who knows, why wouldn't you be made for such a time as this? So I want you to grab your scepter, put on a cute pair of shoes, and own your vision with all the authority of heaven backing you up, just like Esther did. Here's your action challenge for the day. Speak. Start to release your message. Write it, blog it, put it out on social media. Talk to your circles of influence about it. Get feedback. List 3 things you can do right now in the next 30 days to start speaking about your message. Tell 3 people this week about your big vision and see what unfolds.
This has been Women Infused Radio, connecting women around the globe with purpose and spirit. And we want to connect with you. Get your free gift, Unveiled Voices, 6 things you need to do to define your value, voice, and vision. For more information on the free gift and links to join the conversation on social media, visit us at ChristyLynnOlson.com.